is just fantastic. Captain's Log, subdates 210101.5. With my R&R coming to an end and 2021 beginning, I've decided early on to demote Boar and use him as fodder for the rhubarb enslavement program. Oh, and see if I can get a stick of rhubarb through subfleet training. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter, or Twat, and welcome to 2021. I think it's January 1st, isn't it? Yes. Today we have 6 subjects I'd like to go through, 2 of which are very short videos. Before we start, I shall be hosting a political recap stream over on the Moistski Live channel with my delicious co-host Trups LP. If you're at all interested in a weekly roundup of what's been going on in the US and the UK, the link to that channel is in the description down below. So to start, we're going to go with the fact that Captain Marvel was trending. Now, I had struggled to find the reason why Captain Marvel was trending. I thought perhaps they'd recast Brie Larson, as there were a number of rumours that she would be getting recast. Captain Marvel, that is. You can't recast a robot. So instead we're going to go with my favourite tweet that I saw from that particular thread. From Hayley Bishop, do not give them stick. It's time we have the conversation that men only hate Captain Marvel because she's a powerful woman, and Brie said she wasn't playing her for men to like her, and don't even try to say it's because of her attitude she's cocky, because those are the same reasons you love Tony. I'm not even talking about the movie, I'm talking about the character. Stop trying to say the movie was trash because I'm not reading all that. I feel like I've jumped the gun here. She did get a little ratioed. Because most of the replies did point out the movie didn't have a very good story. When it comes to the character, they chose the wrong version of Captain Marvel. I personally prefer the one where she loses all her powers to Rogue. So let's instead focus on the first tweet. Brie said she wasn't playing her for men to like her, yet men make up the majority share of viewers for Marvel movies, comic movies. They still make up the majority. So you don't suppose alienating them had something to do with it, do you? Don't even try to say it's because of her attitude she's cocky. Yes, but Tony had to earn things. He was an established genius, but he had to invent the arc reactor miniaturized, and he had to invent the Iron Man suit of armor. Captain Marvel didn't have to earn much. She did some training, though, I do recall that. The biggest letdown for me when it came to Captain Marvel was when she and Thanos squared off, and he couldn't budge her without the use of an Infinity Stone. To me, that was cringe. She annihilated his ship by going through it. I noticed in Endgame something that really bugged me, actually. When all the ladies were stood together, not one of them had a scratch on them. I found that to be quite frustrating and almost dehumanizing for the characters, that they had to look perfect and pristine for one shot in the middle of a battle. You don't suppose these little factors played a part, do you? And the character did suck, okay? And before someone says Brie Larson was told to play a brainwashed Kree soldier and that she was done dirty, no. The inconsistency between scenes from Joker to Hero were quite tragic. So moving on from that, we're going to go to Real Phoenix Fire, who decided to try it with a little bait. The Anglos, ranked from least awful to absolute worst. Number 1, New Zealanders. You're a Hobbit fan, aren't you? 2, Canadians, only because they apologised. 3, Australians, because no one can make their mind up, but everyone likes an anti-hero. 4, Americans. Really? You put the British. That's number 5. Okay. Well, you've got this wrong, so I'm going to correct it for you. That's number 1. The British. I think you actually meant the English, but sure. Because everyone seems to like Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland over England, and that's understandable, because they're all massive cucks. As number 2, nobody. As number 3, nobody. As number 4, nobody. And at number 5, the Canadians, Australians, Americans, and definitely at number 6, the New Zealanders. I did not like The Hobbit. And as you left out the South Africans, I'll give them a charitable 4.5. As we need a little comedic break from these serious subjects, have a video.
A man just threw a pickle-flavored potato chip at my car at the gas station, and I don't know why.
You okay? Are you alright? How do you know the chip is pickle-flavored?
To move on from that, let's have another video.
If you want to be a great ally to fat people, here are some things you can do.
I find this video to be fascinating for a couple of reasons. The most obvious one is the fact you use fat people as a term at the start. Surely, if we want to molly, coddle, and all of us get together and wrap our arms, because it will take all of us anyway, around a fat person, we'd want to be using language that is more inclusive. Might I recommend those that are, horizontally gifted? How about the marshmallow people? Or those that are guaranteed to die without their legs long before the rest of us? People. Can we just call them Stay Puffed? I mean, you're the one defending them with a TikTok video that's got more cringe in it than a charity song.
When you go to the doctor, encourage them to do the following things. Eliminate any weight or BMI cutoff policies. Stop using the BMI completely because it is ineffective and racist.
The funny thing about the BMI is, it is hugely inaccurate for a whole slew of people. Sadly, though, for a vast majority, it is in fact moderately close to being kinda accurate. So the word ish seems almost appropriate. To get rid of it because of racism, though, no. But I will say the next part is funnier.
Get medical equipment that will actually work for fat patients, like blood pressure cuffs that fit and won't give a false high reading because they're too tight.
I'm sure everyone else is already thinking about the level of entitlement in this clip. There is a cost issue when it comes to getting bigger equipment. It's why some people who are so big have to be taken to a zoo to be weighed on elephant scales. And I'm going to resist a bingo wing joke. I'm sure you can all think of it. Put it in the comments down below.
Set up their office in a way that makes it usable for fat people, like putting chairs without arms in every room.
I feel like these are problems that you're facing, and so you're lashing out on all those that like armrests. How dare you? I'm not sitting on a stool, because that's essentially what it is. No. If I had my way, I'd have them install gaming chairs, because seriously, that lumbar support, yo.
When you go to a clothing store, tell them to expand their size range. It does not matter what their size range currently is. Tell them to expand it.
I'd highly recommend you just go to Primark. You could buy something that's listed as XL, but come up with something with at least one leg that is triple XL. Now, of course, you want that expanded further. So might I recommend you buy a medium, because chances are the expansion rate will go the other way anyway and suit you more, and fit around your curves.
If you work in education, get in touch with the health and PE departments. Ask them if they have anything in their curriculum that involves students weighing themselves, counting calories, or using the BMI in any capacity. If they do, educate them on how all of these practices lead to eating disorders and ask them to stop.
I'll be honest, if your kid's already morbidly obese in school, might I recommend you acknowledge the fact that they already have an eating disorder. It's the other way, though. And kids should always be educated to live healthier lives so that when they become legal adults, they can make the necessary informed decisions when it comes to such a tricky subject as deciding whether to be a fat person or not. As a final point to this before we go to the next topic, this was on Twitter. It was being shared about, I just forgot which tweet, and didn't archive it soon enough because archive crashed. So to our penultimate subject, we're going to go to Frankie Boyle. For those who don't know who Frankie Boyle is, he is an insult comedian who made millions from being an insult comedian on Mock the Week, a BBC TV show, #defund the BBC. When he left, the show kind of went downhill. He eventually retired quite early. Air quotes around the word retired. He made millions, liquidated his businesses so he didn't have to pay tax, lived a nice quiet life until he decided, I'm woke, yo, let's make a comeback. So he did, as a woke comedian. He's also a socialist, by the way. I know, cliché. Well, he's decided to call out other comedians for using what he calls cheap transphobic jokes as a crutch. So I thought what I'd do is show you the kind of leg he has to stand on. But I can't play the clip, the BBC will claim it. So I'm going to read the joke for you. Venus Williams has brought something different to the women's game. Male genitalia. Venus Williams is not a man, by the way, nor trans. I just wanted to show you the standard that Frankie Boyle operated under. The same comedian who got the BBC, defund the BBC, into a lot of hot water by implying that Katie Price, a former glam model by the name of Jordan, whose eldest son is a lot bigger than her, she only married a mixed martial artist, Alex Reid, who is a cross-dresser, so that he could stop her son from trying to do her. See the level we're operating at? If you want to have a leg to stand on, you might want to make sure you don't say things like that. And if you're going to go woke, perhaps address these jokes first, because they don't make you look very good at all. So to our final subject, the main event, although I argue Frankie Boyle should be number one, we're going to go to Twitter, because somebody has been misusing their DMCA system, because their DMCA rules are kind of bull, and it's gotten a lot of people into trouble for clips of them playing their own music. There is a streamer called XQC, one of the biggest on the platform for Twitch, who got locked out of his account for a clip that is more than a year old. Now, he has been banned on Twitch a few times, by the way, for stream sniping and for streaming a inappropriate game. The clips that got pulled on Twitter, though, came from his own streams, and understandably he was hardly impressed. Because of the new system in place, when he jokes about jail and the bill that went through Congress recently, I believe, or the Senate, that included that little get the police involved on DMCA matters. Yes, I think I did a video on it, or referenced it in a video. Understandably, that isn't him joking, because that is a very real possibility now, isn't it? Oh, joy of joys. As we're done here, I would love to know what you think is the dumbest twat of the week. Please do let me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you tonight for the political recap stream with my delicious co-host Trups LP, I hope you'll have a fantastic Friday and subsequent weekend. And thank you all for listening.